Kick streamers have lost it by Oompaville.
That sounds funny. It sounds huge.
It sounds awesome.
But it's just gum, so it's not. It's actually quite small. Do you guys know what gives me the grapes of wrath? I think that's a phrase or a term or something along those lines.
It's a book,
kick
right?
Streamers. I'm not a huge fan of kick streamers, and they have long been the controversial version of streamers. Streamers themselves, goobers. Seems like these sumbitch kick streamers love getting in trouble. They love doing all sorts of dumb stuff.
Right. Out for you. You don't like teenage girls? I do.
At this point, I'm worried. For Kick as a platform, I think that these people will actually bring it down.
I've been sitting here for 8 days.
Really?
I think that there is going to be some kind of problem, and it's going to be because of the people that are on that website.
I'm gonna be honest. Instant sub. I don't turn on notifications just because my inbox gets really full. But honestly, he brings a lot to the table in the first, 30 seconds. Already love this man. I didn't even know this dude existed until In Praise of Shadows tried to do what he did and call him out, right? This weird guilt by association thing. No idea who this dude is. Immediately, finally, someone else that looks at Kick as a platform and goes, "Dear God, this is a problem."
How old are you, 5?
There was an article that came out quite recently about kick streamers and the degenerate practices that are commonplace on this platform that is known as KICK, Kick. And 2 of the degenerates covered in the article are now permanently banned from Kick, which is crazy for someone to get permanently banned from Kick. You have to be a crazy guy to be
actually a moron. I believe we did watch the Moist Critical video covering a little bit of this. I'm very curious where this is going to go.
able to get banned from Kick. Genuinely, that's hard. It's hard to get banned.
She's 17. I got a time machine.
Got a time machine. F off, my dude. Isn't Kick the platform where we had somebody stream the Super Bowl? Right? We have like DraftKings, we have licenses to stream the Super Bowl. Homeboy just streamed the Super Bowl, like just from his PC. As far as I'm aware, no litigation, nothing was done in the follow-up of that. Kick is also the platform. Didn't somebody stream the Dark Knight trilogy? Like heavily copyrighted. Like imagine if I tried to stream Star Wars on Twitch, right? Ban. And you know what? Fair. I totally see what you're doing there. You saw what I was trying to do. You know what? I get it, right? Even then, like with music and stuff, if I get copyright detected on my VODs, I just delete the VODs. That's why VODs generally aren't saved on here, is because if there's copyright music, I don't even deal with it. I make sure to be on my best P's and Q's when it comes to Twitch. Kick and a lot of the behaviors, especially the swimming woman, right? We went over a Moist Critical video with her specifically in that situation. Kick is attracting a lot of problematic attention.
And I know I yap, and I talk smack about Kick all the time, and I'm always like, why are there all these degenerates on this platform? I don't know. I don't make the rules. They have a lot of degenerates on their platform. Sure, there are always exceptions to the rules. There are
That's
good
Johnny
content
Somali
creators on Kick. And frankly, if they wanted to give me enough money, I'd join. So now it's official. There are actually 2 degenerate.
If they gave me like $2 million, I'd sign on right now. They ain't gonna give me $2 million, so it's an empty promise.
Pieces of shit that are too degenerate to go on Kick. Even for Kick, that's an accomplishment, dude.
Yeah.
Who are these guys? What did they do? We'll take a wild guess. We know Zerka a little bit. We've talked about him on the show a few times. John Zerka is a distinguished gentleman known for many things. He's sort of a genius.
I think I
on the
remember that
internet.
video.
He's sort of a wise guy. He's sort of a
guy.
role model for the youth. He's a friend of the show, big time friend of the show. Heel Mike is another guy. I don't really know who these guys are.
He's a guy.
To be honest. Oh my God. What did it finally take to get Kicked to crack down on these criminals? What exactly does it finally take?
Nobody checked anything. We didn't even meet her in a bar. We met her on the street.
Well, as an ancient wise man once said, let's get right into the So who are these?
Logo.
Michael Shklover, aka Heel Mike. Michael Shklover. That's not a last name. Heel Mike would eventually sign to G2. Don't know what that is, but he signed to it.
What the hell is G2? Is that like G2? Is it like G4 minus 2? Is it like Wish.com G4?
Mike's
I don't
YouTube
know.
channel includes some Vitaly type content, drunk Tinder with dad,
This is 100% a catfish.
sleep stream with cat, Tinder girl, ah! Exclamation marks.
There's no.
Halo.
He loves just regular ass videos. I mean, these are just basic ass
Sure.
white people videos. Schlover videos. Schlover style.
To you, and I wanted to know if I could have your permission to use some of your clips from stream for examples.
Of course you can. Yeah, brother. Oh, yeah.
They get a lot of views. Not that many views, but a lot of views. His Twitch has 7.4 million followers somehow.
I did. You know what? Fair enough. I don't. See, that's the thing. I can talk mad smack all day. My metrics ain't 7.4 million followers. At the end of the day, right? When we're looking at metrics, outreach, be wild, dude. I don't know. I never. Right, because Kip's, on the edge of things, right, potentially wanting to date and stuff like that. I don't ever advertise that I do YouTube or Twitch. I don't. Even then, going to Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I do YouTube and Twitch. It just turns into a really weird conversation, and I just don't really advertise it. Oh, but Kip, you could do that, and XYZ, I get it. I think it attracts the wrong kind of people. Not saying that people that watch streams and YouTube are bad. What I am saying is it would attract potentially personalities that hear that you do YouTube and Twitch and see dollar signs, right? And it's like temper expectations. I'm a small streamer. I'm a small YouTuber. Like, I don't do big stuff, right? I have awesome people that follow me, each and every one of you that, follow, subscribe, etc. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't know if it's the right call, especially in dating, to really, telegraph that you do this kind of work, because I think it opens up some odd conversations and it opens up really interesting inquiries from interesting people.
Which I don't even know how that's possible. How he wouldn't be a billionaire with 7.4 million followers on Twitch. That's crazy. I didn't even know there was that many people on Twitch. His most viewed video
Honestly,
is a
me neither.
video called "Got a Tinder Girl to Come on Stream." That's pretty raunchy.
I
Nice.
warned everyone. If I don't stream tomorrow, you murdered me.
I might.
That's
Nice.
currently sitting at 1.9 million views. So how did he gain 7.4 million followers with his
I
most
don't know.
viewed video being 1.9 million? I have no idea.
Oh my god.
That video is awesome. The entire premise of the video is that he matches with a chick on Tinder, and then she comes over on stream while he overreacts while she's there to hype up the Twitch viewers.
If it works, it works, right?
Very good, compelling content. It's one of the best videos I've ever seen in my life. He deserves those 7.4 million followers.
You play Fortnite?
I have 5
Can you imagine, right? Like if Kip just somehow struck it lucky, and all of a sudden you just have like this like really like deep and enticing feminine voice just being like, "Hey guys, I'm new to the stream. Oh yeah, Kip just met me, but we're here doing a collab kind of thing." I mean, I feel like it could do numbers. I feel like it could do things. Also, I live in reality, and that's not going to happen.
million, by the way. I'm a loser, dude. It's not cockiness, it's just confidence.
Well, you know what? I'm at like 3K followers, and I love each and every one of them. So, I mean, what does that make me? But for real, I do love each and every one of you that comes out to not only Twitch, but YouTube as well.
So a lot of this just seems on the line. Maybe it's like, okay, this is cringe YouTube content. By 2020, though, Mr. Schlover was fully committed to the controversial videos and streams because it's what got him the most viewers. And
Yeah.
that's what it's all about, baby. Is
Unfortunately.
viewers, numbers, and all that stuff. It's not about respect. It's not about pride. There's no meaning to be pulled out of any of this. It's just materialism. That's all it is. Genuinely. I'm saying that as if it's a joke or as if I'm better than him. No, that's what it's all about. I'm just kidding. Touching grass is important as well.
Yes, that too.
sometimes. In spite
Yes.
of these epic new controversial numbers, he still played a little bit to stay relevant with his original audience, guys. The Fortnite audience.
Makes sense.
Take the opening to the Fortnite with Tinder Girl video, where it opens with him asking her age and then air humping when he finds out she's 20.
Is that the question? I'm
Yes.
20.
It's
Awful,
crazy to
dude.
think that in just a few short years, 20 would be too old for heel Mike. Mr. Schlover.
She's 17. I got a time machine.
Back in time.
God, I love that name. That's such a good, hearty name. It's like I'm eating a soup when I say it, or a stew, rather. A stew, a chunky stew. Schlover. Heel Mike would continue with the Tinder streams on Twitch and would continually be more and more progressively watched by execs at Twitch for his behavior on the platform. During his time on Twitch, he was banned a total of 6 times. However, on December 27th, 2022, I think, he would receive a longer ban for breaking Twitch's gambling policy. Finally!
But see, here's the problem that I have with Twitch bans, right? Is that I understand their why they do it. I understand the logic with why they do it, right? It's they ban you for a couple days, and that monetary shutoff is going to be doing numbers. Unfortunately, it has the inverse effect on popularity. Like if tomorrow you saw a video and it's like Kip recited something from South Park, gets banned on twitch.tv for 3 days, right? It's going to start attracting an audience. That's how I'm going to word that, an audience. I love South Park. Don't worry. I can't quote what South Park says. I cannot quote like 3/4 of what's said on South Park. Show is actually built different. But you get my point, right? Why should I be rewarded for breaking TOS? When we had the Twitch artistic fill in the blank, right? When we had that, honestly, at its core, good movement. One problem. You have Twitch streamers and Twitter and Reddit users hopping on the trend. So now we have people with fully not safe for work Dakimakuras, including VTubers, on their screen. And it ruins it, and now I would argue the policies are worse than they were back then. You get a good thing, they take an inch, they run 10 miles with it, and, well, I'm sorry, or they just eat the ban, and then, then they're back stronger than ever. It should never be incentivized. And we've honestly joked about this between my mod team and some friends, right? We've honestly joked that, Kip, you just need a controversy. You just need to get banned for a day or 2 days, and then you'll get popular. And I'm just like, it's a joke, obviously, right? But I have to laugh at the absurdity of that because more often than not, it just works.
Something we can latch our teeth into. This motherfucker was a part of that gigantic gambling trend on Twitch that eventually led to the creation of Kick. He gained a massive following from it. This was like a legendary time with Twitch. I feel like that was the last big hurrah that Twitch had, was the whole gambling shit. Say what you will. It was a pretty fun time to be on that platform. Shortly before his longer ban, Twitch implemented a new policy change that prevented casino shit. Just offshore gambling, they kind of made offshore gambling harder to capitalize off of on their platform. I don't know why they would do that, but I guess it makes sense. I'm just kidding. It makes sense. I get it. I get why they all do it. It's bad. It's really easy to just take advantage of your audience and stuff. It's terrible.
I wish I could just speak to someone who does like crypto gambling and explain to them like, one, are you dumb?
It was a tough time for Heel Mike and a lot of people like Shklover, because during that time, a lot of their sponsorships came from gambling companies that are banned in the US, offshore.
Well, so here's the thing you have to understand about gambling as well, right? With some of these companies, right? It'd be one thing, say if I were doing it, right? And it's like, I have $300 to front for this, right? Versus if the company were to say, hey, Kip, we know you're drawing an audience. We'll give you like 5K credit, right? You just 5K on us, get people to come in, right? And all of this is just advertising. Are they even disclosing that they're receiving that as compensation from the company? So they're not spending their own money, but they're spending this allotted allowance that they've been given. And that leads into another issue, right? So if in this situation I was doing this, right? And I was having this allowance from this company to spin these slots, play these games, right? And then you as the viewer could be enticed as well, right? We live in a world, right? Reasonably, you're an adult. You should have critical thinking skills. But there are people with gambling problems, or there's people that may not, they see the funny numbers, they see the funny spins, right? And to me, it just comes across as if I were to do it, it would be ethically wrong and a betrayal of what I stand for, right? If you gamble, go to Vegas, cool. Literally don't care. Have a fun time. Don't care. Do it responsibly, right? But if I were to do it, right, I feel it comes across as disingenuous and that I'm not respecting the audience, not respecting you as the individual, right? But that's a nuanced debate, and at the end of the day, there are people with a lot more subscribers, a lot more numbers that are making these decisions and have sway in these decisions. And at the end of the day, my philosophy is don't be a dick, right? I'd be kind of a dick if I were to do that and not disclose that I was given an allowance by said company.
Shit, and they just didn't allow it on Twitch. So it was dark. It was dark. It was the dark ages, the proverbial dark ages for Shklover and his companions. He didn't give a f, though. He kept on gambling, and he eventually lost access to his account indefinitely from Twitch, but he got it back 4 days later, despite him clearly breaking TOS repeatedly. I don't really understand the whole rule enforcement on Twitch. Twitch, by the way, I think Twitch and Kick are like pretty much as bad as one another. I think Twitch sucks, and I don't like the color purple that much. I like the color green. It's just that Kick has too many pedos. If Kick had less pedos and just a better community, it would be way better. I feel like
if there's one thing you don't want to be synonymous with, it's that. Don't be synonymous with that. You're already ahead of the game.
YouTube should just come out of the woods and just create a whole new website. And just give people what they want. Anyways, all that nonsense aside, Heel Mike was fed up with Twitch and he decided to join Kick.
So I rented it and I was going to spray paint Kick. Kick, fuck Twitch, all on it. We were going to roll up.
Oh, she's not having a fun time.
Like fucking WWE versus WCW. And Zerka missed.
He joined the competitor so he could continue to stream his kind of gambling content that he loves so much. He was just tired of facing repercussions, I think. He would join in early 2023 and boast about how much better it was than Twitch, when in reality, he was being paid to say that, because it's really not that much better than Twitch, if at all. But at least...
Don't you have to disclose that, though? Is that an FTC violation? Like, if I was paid by Nintendo or Burger King, hypothetically, right? If I was paid by them to be like, oh man, you should go buy that new Mario game, 100%, best game, 10 out of 10, right? And I don't disclose I was paid by them, pretty sure that's a violation. Like, that's a big no-no. Or like, hey, you know what you need? Triple Whopper with cheese. You know what? Cut that. Just make it a quadruple Whopper with cheese. Gotta go to Burger King. Gotta get that burger, right? And I don't disclose I'm paid by Burger King, right? An affiliate paid for Burger King, right? Isn't that a big no-no? That doesn't feel right. That doesn't sound... I mean, obviously, at a certain point, it comes down to, are they going to litigate against you? Is there grounds to litigate against you? Is it worth their time? Because paying legal and lawyers costs a lot of money. But at the very least, we can argue this gentleman is being very disingenuous, right? We can argue that Sklover is... Dude's not maybe the most transparent individual.
There's less...
Or the most smart.
I think. Or at least they're not pretending. Eventually, our boy Heel Mike started to do that thing called IRL streaming, which we love, and many Kick streamers absolutely love. It's where you pick up women and catch... Some people catch pedophiles, other people pick up women and then eventually become them, or something like that. I'm not sure. Allegedly, I really don't know. I don't care either, to be honest. Somehow, this guy even got banned on Kick a few times. He was banned for receiving oral on a live stream, which is a massive L. Why the f would you do that, bro? You are absolutely streaming to children. There is no doubt that the people watching your videos are children. Your streams are children. Nobody wants to watch Tinder Girl.
So somebody did cite that the Fortnite audience, I think the majority of the player base is like age 20 plus. However, it's like when I tag all my content. I tag all my content as 18 plus. In my server, you'll see all my servers are 18 plus, right? I make it very transparent that if you're a minor, right, right? Talk to the good teachers in your life. Talk to the good adults in your life, right? Learn from them, right? I try to cater towards a more adult audience, not necessarily because I do adult things, right? But I try to cater towards a more adult audience. And it's like, it replaced Fortnite with Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Why would I do something on stream, right, like playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and be receiving an act like that, right? Do you think, and sure, a lot of the audience might be 20, 30-year-olds. I went to a LCS recently, and it was like all just 20 and 30-year-old dudes. Honestly, super great time. We all had laughs. It was funny. Dude was having an awful time piloting Royal Magical Library Exodia. But honestly, we had a lot of fun with it. We had a lot of fun. It was a cool experience, right? It's a problem, right? And it's one that it feels like people like to F around, right? FA, they want to F around, but the find out never happens, or when it does, it doesn't have weight behind it. Oh, you're banned for 4 days. Cool, what's that going to do to de-incentivize them? And clearly they're going to get numbers and views off this anyways. I think that's a large problem with platforms like Twitch and Kick, right? But then again, on the other side of things, right, you can go too far and you can have an In Praise of Shadows, which honestly, I knew Oompaville like kind of existed, the name. I have no clue who this individual is. All I know is that In Praise of Shadows put out their hit piece. This was one of the people, and I'm like, you know what? In Praise of Shadows did news research. I'm going to go check out some legit like streamers and content creators. That's why I'm here. So, hi, Oompaville. Honestly, great content so far. And it's interesting how I ended up here. But no, he's speaking about very real issues, and he's speaking about very relevant issues.
Adult man is going to come home from a long day's work at some kind of factory or data center where all day they hear AC units.
Awful.
And their boss goes in, hiya, Steve. How's that server rebuild going? I'll kill you if you talk to me anymore. And then Steve goes home, and then he pulls up Kick and he watches Heel Mike, Mr. Sklover, do this.
Awful.
Yeah, I don't think so. These are 12-year-old boys. No offense to 12-year-old boys, but this is 12-year-old boy content.
Wow, yeah, she is beautiful. She's got some big personalities.
It's like if you asked a 12-year-old boy what kind of content he would think would be cool to make. That's the type of content that Heel Mike has made consistently for years.
He said that girl got some big old titties.
Come on, Hal!
Except he's just also gambling now and just mixing in sex, which is weird. Anyways, this one-day ban actually gained him some popularity with people asking him to be on stream to repeat the action, which is really awesome. And he also was jumped by a group of guys while streaming in LA. Pretty fun stuff. He's had some pretty entertaining little spats with people.
How much? 6 of you guys? No, we can run one. We can run one. Pick all what?
Why you running away, bro?
But recently, and I mean for a little while, I do think that's what the word recently means. To be TBF, to be honest. I gotta stop. So now
TBH.
John Zerk. He's someone we've talked about before. Particularly, we talked about the incredibly embarrassing moment in which he live streamed himself getting his ass whooped by another guy. I don't even know what this guy's name. HS Tiki Taki, that's what his name is. I remembered it. I remembered his name at last. Finally, John Zerka is the type of guy that thinks that they are God's gift to the world. He has so much to offer, wisdom, advice. He believes he's a profound thinker, a poet.
You can do anything you set your mind to, man.
Okay, as someone who likes philosophy, let's give this a whirl. Snap your fingers and quantum leap into a whole different life by letting go of who you are for who you will become, even if it means not knowing the process. Let the shadows consume you and then rising to your new state of self. Higher self, hot flow state winning. A program installed in every soul waiting to be unpacked. Use forward poetry letters of myself. I get what you're trying to say, but like, I don't know. It just comes across as hollow to me. I mean, I've definitely read like random samurai app quote that has better things. Like Art of War probably has a lot better things than this, being completely honest. I mean, that's also comparing him to Sun Tzu, which that's an unfortunate comparison to Sun Tzu.
He believes he's a profound thinker, a poet.
You can do anything you set your mind to, man.
Sure. Okay. You're a little close.
He believes that the world revolves around him. He believes seriously that he is a soldier of God. He constantly talks about God.
Faith is what you need for Christ, nothing else. Reason leads you to cut your dick off.
And he's claimed to be a pastor.
Are you like, believe?
I'm a pastor. So I'm trying to bring you guys to Jesus. What's it gonna take?
Which obviously 100% would not be a bad thing by any means.
And do you guys ever get anxious or depressed?
But this guy is actually one of the worst people that exists on the internet.
Where does your N-word pass come from? Tell me about it.
He's
Oh my god, dude. We've talked about passes before. Look, and that's the thing, right? Like, I've been told, oh, you can use the jarhead, right, thing. And even then, I don't use it. I don't use the word, not anymore, because it invites conflict, right? And what I mean by that is, I'm not military. I'm not a Marine. I have not dealt with the Marine Corps. Regardless if I have a pass or not, why? It's like if I were to say the N-word, right? Yeah, I'm going to eat that Twitch ban, and rightfully so. I don't have a pass for it. But at the end of the day, you can't control what other people do. You can't control what other people say, right? There is, freedom of speech, but what is it Brandon Herrera himself says? It's not freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences, right? If I just spout off the N-word, I'm going to eat the consequences for that, and rightfully so, right? Just critical thinking. I think past culture, as I'll call it, has led to some really awkward interactions. And at the end of the day, I really choose to ignore it, because if you try to argue against it, there's going to be arguments against you. It's going to invite conflict. It's going to invite just controversy. And at the end of the day, don't be a dick. I feel like if I were to say jarhead, I feel if I were to say the N-word or any other things that I could have a quote-unquote pass for, I could be inviting controversy, or I could be inviting conflict. And so I actively choose to avoid it. At the end of the day, you do you. You're an adult. You're a critical thinker. Use your noggin.
hands. No black man on earth finds the N-word offensive.
Somehow he's still able to make content. I really don't know how, in spite of saying stuff like this on a consistent basis.
Men are better at everything compared to women, and women need to hear this. And you can find me at that.com.
Objectively incorrect. It's almost like we have different skill sets, and even then, there are men that are better than other men at certain things. There are women that are better than other women at certain things, right? I'm very individualistic. Just very broad L take.
He's just a gigantic piece of shit that is accomplishing nothing even remotely close to being something of some value. Not a modicum, not a like a sand particle. You know how small sand is?
Mm-hmm.
Some things have that much value. Even sand has that much value.
Yeah.
That much.
Right. Yeah.
None of that. The world's better off without John Zerka. No one will argue that. And that's before we talk about what we're about to talk about.
Basically, they had some girl on stream. And she was 18, but people found out she's in high school and he was kissing her and shit on stream, and now he's a PDF file.
Brother. This guy claims to be a Christian.
There's been a couple things that I've actually, as much as I've criticized XQC in regards to certain things, right? Walking up and leaving a reaction. There's a couple things I found I've agreed with him recently. There was one, I think Andrew Tate said something about women can't play video games or something like that. And XQC, I guess, fired back with like, that's dumb or something like that. And I'm just like, wow, the day came when I agreed with XQC on something. You can disagree with people and still find merit to what they say or agree with them on certain other things, right? Wow, it's almost like being an adult is just talking to each other and making these cognizant decisions and not engaging in cancel culture unless absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary being, what we're talking about, right? Getting people that are doing things with people not of age off of a platform. Pretty sure that's a relevant, get off the platform.
And I assume sees Jesus as God, but his pinned tweet is one promoting the manipulation of women and just sexism. He's saying that women are stupid, and he's saying that women are just gold diggers, and he's shilling his website to teach you how to pick girls up just like him. But it's okay, man. He's trying to help you. He's trying to teach you how to attract women through the art of repulsion. It's good. It's like poly and non-poly particles, like fat and water. And then that's how they belong together. He's the emulsifier. He's the sodium citrate, and then you get those non-poly and poly, and then they. So what kind of girls does John Zerka like to get involved with? Well, he's used words such as expired to describe women who are too old for him.
Are you a teenager?
No, I'm 24.
Too old. Expired.
Not a great guy.
What?
And he has a tweet that sort of ironically predicted his fate, his now banned from Kick fate, which is the following. He tweeted around a year ago, "I hate when my girlfriend gets excited for her birthday, or what I like to call her expiry date." Wow.
What?
That's a classic joke, John Zerka. Very funny. It would be a shame if that were to happen in real life, and it would no longer be a joke, and you would actually be or at least a registered offender. Or maybe, I'm not sure, at least banned from Kick potentially as well. So yeah.
He's going to have to be on the funny little list that he has to tell his neighbor that he's a part of. Hey, I'm a part of this funny little club I need to let you know about. I'm mandated to let you know about it. What a way to ruin your life, dude.
You guys can probably see where this is headed. I'm sure at this point it's pretty obvious. The word that John Zerka and Heel Mike are pedos has been getting thrown around quite a bit lately. So let's find out exactly why they were banned, and let's question, did they deserve it? Yes! Let's genuinely try to understand every aspect of what's going on here. After all, we have journalistic integrity on the Oompaville channel.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
This past weekend, our old buddies got together and hung out live streaming together like they usually do, touching each other's wieners, probably. They usually
I just realized he has a 117 chair. Oompaville has already shot up. Like, wow, this man is incredibly based.
With girls in some way, and this night was no different in question. They have this girl over, who I will blur, and they're both all over, kissing her, been wrapping his legs around her and acting like he's humping her at one point. Very good content. Really appreciate it. Heel Mike even posted a picture of himself in bed with a girl to Discord saying, "Zero regrets. Good night." I'm not gonna show the girl, but the girl looks very young, and her age was brought into question, even by them, pretty early on, and absolutely 110% definitely before Mike ended up sharing a bed with her. Both of these boys claim that they did the responsible thing and checked her ID and said that she was either 18 or 19 years old.
These bitches are actually legal?
Yeah.
But when the prospect that her ID may have been fake was raised, Zerka and Mike responded in uniquely terrible ways. By the way, they were getting called out by their own chats. The Kick chat was calling them out live. Look at this guy shitting himself when he kind of realizes that maybe he f***ed himself over big time and solicited a minor.
That is the look of a man who knows he is in trouble. Like, he knows that he is absolutely just boned.
That's pretty wild.
This is not you trolling me.
I'm not trolling. I said that.
Yeah.
So his big defense here is that he's used to Canada's age of consent, which is 16 or 17, according to him. I'm not even going to look it up. Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter, especially if you are in the US or you're in a state where the age of consent is 18, or if you are in a territory and or country where the age of consent is different, right? What is it? I think people like to cite that Japan as, I think, like 14 or 16. Actually, wait a minute. Let's go and look that up real quick. Once again, we have the power of the internet on our side. Japan age of consent. 16 years. Japan's parliament is a welcome... Japan's parliament, in a welcome move, has raised the age of consent to 16 from 13. The move comes after a wait of more than a century since the last change in 1907. The historic move sets the ground for R-word prosecution and criminalizes voyeurism. Source, Google. Looks like that's from livement.com. And then there's, PBS, Wikipedia, as well as other outlets that are reporting the same thing, 13 to 16 years old. So, right. Oh, but you can argue age of consent in Japan is, but that's 13, that's 16. My guy, you're in Florida now. You're with the Gators. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I mean, like, it's... How do you fix that stupid? How do you fix that level of stupid? Just that lack of just critical thinking, that lack of understanding. How do you address that? How do you fix it?
To be honest, it's such a terrible way to begin and try to build a defense from that accusation that you've solicited a minor. In my opinion, it's pretty bad using other countries' laws. You're in America.
Fact.
You don't have to follow Canadian laws when you're in America. Just like when you're in Canada, you don't have to follow American laws. I guess if you want to come back to the country of America, you do. So yeah, anyways, his initial response to messing around with a minor is to just say it's fine. Usually, where he's from. What else could be expected from a guy who's referred to himself as a notorious
My name is John Zerka, prolific, notorious.
Dude, come on, man.
That's real, by the way. Imagine referring to yourself as a notorious even in a joke. Jokes are usually supposed to be funny, I think. He would obviously say, and any of his fans...
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, jokes can be funny. Jokes can be crass, right? I was part of a Destiny group where they were talking about toilet brushes going up the bunghole. It was pretty funny, right? And it's kind of like, would you stream that? No, probably not. But it was really funny. It was a really funny conversation. Like, I loved it. Like, yeah, no, like, man, I can't. I love imagining him getting a lawyer to mount some kind of legal defense or try to sue people for quote unquote harassment, defamation, slander. And his lawyer just looking at him and going, "You're a dumbass."
I'm sure would say it's satire, it's all a joke, something along those lines. But dude, the amount of times that you joke about something like that, it can't happen.
Well, I just turned 29, but I love teenagers.
It cannot happen, or it becomes real. You no longer have the joke card to joke about something like that when you actually do that. Don't you see? Doesn't that make some form of logical sense in your rotten, coke-addled brain, you stupid fuck? It's almost unfair how easy it is to paint an unflattering picture of this man. It's just, you just talk about him. You just put stuff in a video. You don't even have to cherry pick. You just put his stuff, like, let's see what he's tweeted since all this happened. Women do not own souls anymore. He disabled replies. Young and stupid women hunting down celebrities to bite a slice of fame is a tale as old as time. Old and ugly women being mad about it has nothing to do with morality. Their outrage comes from not being selected, and deep down everyone knows that.
What?
Oh my God. That is crazy. You will never convince me I am not an angel.
He needs some professional help. He needs an intervention. Like he's gone. Like the train has left the station, man.
Yo, I'm clear. The bitch is 18.
Yeah, yes, it's clear. And this is the girl who was in bed.
Yo, you got ID her right now, bro. What the fuck? Is it, second, is it 18?
Yeah, she's 18.
Okay, all right, cool. Subscribe.
So yeah, terrible response, but not as bad as Heel Mike's response. Oh my God,
I'm
these
ready.
people. In the
I'm
moment,
ready.
a chatter raises concern, saying that they don't like underage girls. And Mike responds by saying he does. In fact, he doesn't just like underage girls, he loves them.
Mike, I'm just looking out for you. We don't like teenage girls. I do.
He doubles down on that point and tells the person who isn't into minors to leave, calling them the F slur.
I love them. So get the fuck out of here.
Very good. Very, very good.
Very
He even goes
professional.
so far as to tell this person who is not attracted to minors. This is a person who does not prefer to have a sexual attraction and a romantic interest in minors.
See, here's his problem though. His problem is that this man has a conscience and he has critical thinking skills in this man's chat room. Imagine like being too smart and being too reasonable and rational that you just get like laughed out of the chat by the actual streamer. We live in a society. We live in a world. Like, that's wild to me, man. Like, I don't know, man. This is strange to me. I don't know, but I'm also weird. Like, I can't really talk to people under the age of 24, 25. There's just not the same level of just communication, right? Someone's 18, you know, they go out partying, they're doing stuff, playing Call of Duty, playing Fortnite, whatever, right? I'm not necessarily going to be talking about macro geopolitical events in the same capacity that, you know, I could with, you know, say, teacher friend. I can't discuss the nature of warfare and the parallels in media like Gundam or Code Geass that I can with a lot of 18, 20, 22-year-olds, right? Like that Venn diagram, the two circles, the overlapping, that overlap is very small. Very small. And even then, if I'm ever not sure, go out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Not sure if person across from me is sitting for me is, 18, 16, keep it professional. There's no... I don't know. Like, why do I have to be a voice of reason on the internet for this? Because this should feel like this is like common sense. And I think that's what frustrates me. Like, if you are in a situation where you have to deal with a minor, right? Tournament setting, right? You're playing Pokemon, playing Magic, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You keep it professional, right? Play the game. Once you're done with the game, you move on, do your own thing. If they try to pursue you, hey, I want to talk to you. Look, sorry, not about that. Not my kind of thing. Look, you need to talk to the good adults in your life. Find that good teacher, find that good parent, find that good adult in your life, talk to them. Inappropriate. And you leave it at that, right? You are the adult in the room. You may not feel like an adult. You might need an adult to your adult, but you're the adult in the room. Act like it. Like, goddamn, dude.
By the way, he tells them that they are queer and a loser. An interesting series of words to describe someone who is actually, in fact,
wow,
a winner. That's what we would consider them, a winner.
Are you kidding? Pathetic.
I think any rational person is going to know that this is not the proper way to address this kind of situation.
No.
But Mike is an irrational person. He's an absolute bumbling idiot. Same with John. They have coke-rotted brains. I have no f***ing idea what's going on there. A fly just...
No. Yeah, I saw that fly. I was about to ask about the fly. I saw that. How you can tell I'm gauging the content. No, not even coke. Like, that's the good stuff, right? Like, we're talking like crack. Like, the good stuff is, you can't afford the good stuff anymore. You can only afford the bad stuff now. You can afford the rough stuff, right? No, I have never used. I do not plan to use. I've just worked at a lot of kitchens, okay? That's my context on that.
Landed on my nose. Bro, he's so irrational. He's been clipped doubling down even more, telling his chat that if this girl is in fact using a fake idea, then he doesn't give a f***. And that it's even a good thing. I said idea, it's ID.
Fake ID? Good.
He continues to just call people a bunch of slurs. You're not going to be able to hear any of this because we're on YouTube and not Kick. But yeah, he keeps calling them all this stuff. They're concerned about the age of the girl. Calls them nearly every slur in the book. Even tells them to kill themselves.
No.
Which is really awesome, man. What a way to treat people like adults. I hope this guy goes to jail. I hope they both go to jail. I feel like, Diddy would probably go to jail if this shit happened or something along those lines. Maybe not. Rich people. These guys aren't even rich. They're just absolute idiots. A lot of people just don't think children and adults should be partying together, man, because children's brains aren't finished growing and they're incredibly easy to manipulate. But it makes...
What is the scientific fact? It's like your brain isn't finished developing until it's like 25 or something like that. Yeah.
sense that you guys like that because you have repeatedly said that you like that a lot of times. Everything has aged so poorly, and with the statements made about minors and the age of consent and the general degeneracy that's been on full display between these two, they got banned from Kick. And if you try visiting their pages, you get an error screen, which is awesome. I'm very glad that Kick actually has, laid down the law a little bit here, because it's disgusting.
Right.
It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But anyways, they can't even deny this. He's kissing her and humping her on the video. So you can't, there's no way to deny any of this stuff. Mike posted a picture of himself in bed with the girl, and all the streams are clipped. The chat was warning them. Man, it's just crazy. It's just crazy how you could ever be this stupid and this worthless of a human being. Wild stuff. So now on to their responses to being canceled. Heel Mike and Zerka's responses to having all these people call them out for committing crimes live on stream. Classic Kick style. Before we get into this section though, there is some important context. The girl that was brought around by another girl named Abby. She works for the Fresh and Fit podcast. So, massively responsible group of people. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Trafficking moment. Whoop, whoop. Trafficking moment. Time for an investigation. I don't feel comfortable with this. My trafficking alarm's going off. Allegedly. So out of this situation, we get two kind of outcomes, and the response to either one of those outcomes is one you may choose. A, Heel Mike and Zerka are willfully ignorant offenders, aka notorious pedophiles, or B, actual pedophiles. Those are the two sort of things that they're saying, that the people are saying. I'm not saying it. It's all alleged. It's all alleged, obviously.
Allegedly.
It's all alleged. But of course, after the banhammer swings and everybody gets upset at them, they play the victim. They change the story now. Mike is no longer doubling down on being attracted to minors or loving teenagers or being okay with fake IDs. It's not a joke anymore, guys. There's a video that Mike recorded with Abby, and he's basically making her say that you wouldn't bring a minor around and risk your reputation in the industry as a sex as a handler or whatever, a pimp or whatever she is.
Your friend is not 17, right? She's above 18.
She's above fucking 18.
Essentially, Mike is recording her defense, which is that she wouldn't bring a minor around because it would ruin her career, as well as ruining the career of those who she associates with, which is quite unfortunate that she has to associate with those people.
I'm not trying to put me in a situation. I'm not trying to fuck my life up because I know this will fuck up my reputation and my job that I work for.
Mike seemingly accepts this explanation from Abby at the time that it's recorded, but it wouldn't remain the case. To be honest, he immediately posted to Twitter saying that he was set up by a trusted employee, Abby, and secretly recorded a conversation of him kicking Abby and the girl who's supposedly underage out of the house. What? The secret recording is just audio of him telling these two girls to swear on the Bible and their mom's lives and their family's lives that she's above the age of 18. He literally says, your whole family dies if you don't say.
If you can tell he's a completely rational human being. Why even get to that point? If there's ever any doubt, like that's what I come back to. I came back to this in the most critical version of this, right? Why would it ever get to that point? Why should it ever get to that point? Hey, you don't look 18. I'm going to do literally anything else with my day. I'm going to go eat a burger. I'm going to go In-N-Out. I'm going to go shop for retro games. See if they have, Pokemon Blue. Like, I'm still missing GBA, or I guess Game Boy, right? I'm missing Game Boy Pokemon Blue. I'll go to pawn shops, right? Go to pawn shops, see what they got in, right? I'll do literally anything else than risk that, right? Because why? Why? Why should you ever get to this point in any... I can't form a complete sentence because it's just so asinine. Like, I'm struggling to find a reason why you get to this point. Like, just don't, my guy. Oh my God. If you're ever curious if the other party is not, or you have reason to doubt, do the smart thing. Do not. I get it. Hormones, being in the moment. I totally understand. However, if you're in doubt, override that, right? Override your emotions, override your hormones, override your, desire, quote unquote, right? Just like, nah, veto, nah, go away. I'm good. I don't need this. I'll go do anything else with my day.
You lie. It sounds like he's threatening them to say that she's 18 years old. And then he catches himself and says, if you lie. He corrects it to, if you lie. Of course, he'd probably just say that it was a hypothetical situation, like how I often get ChatGPT to say fucked up things by asking it to say those things, hypothetically, of course. Really, we can't see what's going on here. It's just audio only, and I have no idea what's going on. And quite frankly, I don't care. It's not about journalistic integrity. It's just about these guys are pieces of shit. Yeah. That's pretty much the end of the situation. Extra little nugget of awesomeness is he says this is a secret recording, but Florida is a two-party consent state where both parties have to consent to being recorded, unlike Texas or some other states. So he's self-incriminating by posting that audio, self-incriminating by posting a picture of him in bed with a supposed minor, and self-incriminating once again, just in every possible way that he can. Then probably the most obnoxious part are just the tweets from Zerka and Heel Mike. His tweet defending himself about the recording is just cocky and arrogant.
Yeah.
Told you we're innocent, you stupid fox. When the recording doesn't even prove anything.
No.
Okay? It proves that you can get people to swear. Zerka also began laying into Abby, saying that she's the one responsible for all this stuff, just deflecting the blame, of course, because he's a perfect man, and that's what men do, is just deflect blame, and they do not ever take responsibility for their own illegal actions. Why would they? Never trust a woman. Vouched by Girl Finder. Dude, we love Zerka on this channel. We love him. He's so funny. None of this is really a detailed statement from Zerka. He's just been rambling, and I read some tweets earlier, but he did make an actual statement, which I think is maybe deleted, but we have a screenshot of it. He also posted it with a candid photo of himself with his eyes closed, sleeping soundly, I assume. Not sure what he's trying to accomplish, but it reads as follows. I did nothing wrong. I followed every professional step by ID checking with multiple people and making sure that it was real by asking Abby before going on with the IRL stream. A trusted worker of ours, Abby, clearly sniped us for clout on our off day and lied nonstop with a real ID of her friend's sister that looks just like her. We ditched all the other girls because they were not verified by this worker and stuck with the one girl that was clearly a clout-chasing plant and the nuke to the whole broadcast. We did not delete the VOD because we got nothing to hide. We put our whole lives and opinions on 24-hour broadcasts and say whatever we want openly for years. Now try answering this question without joking. What would you have done differently? Nothing. That's what.
What would I have done differently? Just don't deal with the situation. Don't put myself in a situation that this has to happen. If I do find myself in a situation where there's ever any doubt, what's the meme? You know the meme that I'm talking. Okay, someone's gonna know what I'm talking about. It's the couple that has been practicing abstinence for like a decade, like their entire marriage or something like that. And like, what is it that they do? I think the husband like takes a cold shower, and the wife just eats like a whole raw potato or something like that. Someone's gonna know what I'm talking about. It was a really, really popular meme a while back. Like, we're talking years ago. But like, just do that. Okay, actually, technically don't eat a whole raw potato because potatoes are solanaceae. They're nightshade, right? So, you know, probably don't eat a whole raw potato, right? You can cook the potato au gratin, mashed potato, baked potato, right? You have options, right? Literally anything else, my guy. You could have made a cookie. You could have just cooked. You could have done things. You could have had, you know, hey, let's take shots to funny. Like, you literally could have done anything else. Literally anything else is what I would have done. Dear God.
No, I actually wouldn't have associated with 16-year-old girls, and I don't have a girl finder. Also about her clearly being a clout chasing plant. Bro, he humped her. He was kissing her and humping her. He's a history revisionist. This is revisionist history. What is going on? Now these guys are absolutely. They're being destroyed by everyone. The Willie Mack Show has been making some really good tweets and holding them accountable where, you know, we really need to. He said, "This is ridiculous. If you watch the stream, Zerka asks if she's 18. She repeatedly says she has no ID. He continues to kiss her. Then when Josiah says you guys should kick her out, Heel Mike chimes in, you're a F-slur, ass-in-slur, bro. We ain't ID checking." It's all on stream. Can't fact check that because I don't know where the VOD is. It's gone. But basically, in a roundabout way, these two idiots have embraced the notoriety.
Why is there a censor bar on screen? What's happening?
It's gone. But basically, in a roundabout way, these two idiots have embraced the notoriety of and are now backtracking to defend themselves when they optically become. So I don't really know. I don't really know. What do you guys think?
Honestly, they're idiots. Plain and simple. You shouldn't aim to be like these people. People shouldn't aim to be like this. You should warn your friends. Like, hey, yeah, these people, right? Oh, or imagine, right? You have a kid. You have a nephew. You got a grandson, right? You got someone that you know is looking at them like, oh, these guys are cool. Sit down and tell you why these aren't some good people. They've done some really bad things. They choose to do some really bad things. But, you know, I'm not disappointed with this. Oompaville, awesome creator. I, came here because he happened to be in the hit piece done by In Praise of Shadows. And I'm kind of just making my rounds of just like, kind of looking at people, kind of seeing what they do. And honestly, not disappointed. I feel like he definitely deserves a sub. So thank you, Oompaville, for putting out such a great piece. I really love it. Came with a lot of receipts. Obviously said allegedly, where allegedly's did need to get added. I honestly really liked it. And if you have not checked out Oompaville, definitely recommend that you do. Down in the description down below, as always, you will see the standard channel link, video link, that kind of thing. And Oompaville, if you're not okay with React content, more than receptive to a business email. If you're like, hey, please don't do this, more than happy to take it down. I just want to be on what good terms that I can with creators that I react to. So thank you everybody for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'll see you in the next one.